And right now, it's the final matchup in the first round as two definite favorites pitted against one another in a titanic clash. In the blue corner, a leader for both team and jiu-jitsu, a black belt who heads up the Beast Rand, representing East Rand Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the man they call Ching. Please welcome Brandon Newman. His opponent brings an enormity of experience and skill, a well-known face on the jiu-jitsu scenes from Cape Town, representing Team Marino Gracie, the man some know as the Night King. In the green corner, please welcome Deslie, FaithFull.
So we've got an interesting match here. Both guys they're high pressure fighters. They like being on top. They like wrestling and passing guard and crushing your face into the mat.
We've got brown belt versus black belt here. Deslie, the brown belt, and Ching, the black belt. So, like you said, similar sort of games, very high pressure passing. Super excited for this matchup. This could be a final or a title fight on any given day. Straight into the arm drag there.
Deslie trying for the outside trip but not getting it.
I think we're going to need a bigger mat, apparently. These guys are taking up every inch of this.
We've got referee Bobby Karajanidis.
Yeah.
Second, third degree black belt.
I think he's second?
Third degree.
Yeah.
Highly experienced.
And also the thickest skin that we learned from the first event. There's not much that upsets Bobby. And just cool, calm and collected in there. He's got a wealth of experience and couldn't pick a better guy for this kind of matchup, you know, where it's going to be super technical, super intense.
Okay.
Deslie sitting down on the guard pool there.
Could you see that as a sign of like giving up on the wrestling, or is that a tactical move to?
And I was talking about this the other day. And I was lucky enough I got to go see some of these gyms and how the guys were training. East Rand BJJ doing a lot of wrestling now. They've got a full-time wrestling coach in there. They're having hard wrestling sessions like on a Friday. You know, so their wrestling's coming along. And you can see both these guys are super, super strong. You know, looking for those kind of underhooks, not getting them, looking for the butterfly position there with Deslie, just like Ching super heavy on top.
I mean, you say that about East Rand. I know Renzo has a history of absorbing a lot of the Cape Town wrestlers into their team. Look at Peyton. I think there's another guy, I think his name's Tabo, who's a really good wrestler from out of there. You know, they just kind of end up at Renzo's, and obviously it benefits the rest of the team.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, in modern day, especially in Nogi, guys are seeking out wrestling, they're seeking out judo, they're seeking out all of these things to improve their game, you know?
I mean, definitely from like a general meta of the game that's been evolving lately is wrestling's become so much more significant. You're seeing guys pulling guard in order to wrestle up to get on top.
Sure. Interesting there.
You're seeing double legs to go to the back.
Deslie tried to use the butterfly there to lift the hips and just seemed like just couldn't get it up.
Okay, so Deslie's got the sweep. He's on top. Now he's kind of where he wants to be. Brandon's got like a nice knee shield, but he is getting lifted towards the center, which is going to make it harder for him to defend.
Heavy head pressure here from Deslie.
Yeah.
You can see Ching is not enjoying it. It's quite uncomfortable. He's trying to like clear that head. And this is what high-level jiu-jitsu looks like, man. It's inches now. Nobody wants to make a mistake.
And that head position is so important. You'll see it in UFC, like guys like John Jones, when they're fence wrestling, they are pinning their opponents against the fence with the head. And the fence and the floor is basically the same thing. In fact, you've got more gravity on your side here.
And Deslie's favorite control position is actually listed as head pressure. So that's what we're seeing from there.
You could say he's hard-headed.
Yeah, I'd say he's hard-headed. If you know Guy Lazarus, you know he loves a pun. And these are two guys that have been training for so long. You know, Ching's been at it for about 15 odd years. I think Deslie said he's been training jiu-jitsu since 2013, so that's going on like 9 years now. You know, just great experience, highly skilled guys. And like we said, it's two very similar styles. Both want to be on their top position. Interesting note on Brandon Newman. what he brought up when we were at the gym was, he mentioned it's no secret that he struggles with the nerves of competition, and I mean he's competed all over. He's got medals in almost every kind of major sort of tournament that's come and gone in South Africa and abroad. He's really competed a lot, but the mental side of things really he struggles with it, and he's quite open about it, which is interesting.
So I just want to comment. Deslie's, he's finally managed to pass. He's got that arm pinned really nicely. Ooh. Might have made a mistake where he's trying to get to step over the mount, but he didn't secure the hips well because he's using that body lock passing.
It looks almost like he's going to try and set up that head and arm. He's going to try and isolate that arm.
Could be. Look, we definitely feel like he's going for the mount.
Yeah.
The mount. There we go. He's going for the guillotine.
So he's got it interesting, as you said, he's trying to get to that mount. His favorite position is S mount armbar.
Exactly.
And that's where he's trying to be.
Okay. Now we've got a change in pace.
But again, when you're a strong guy, you're quite used to being in that position, And it seems like Ching's keeping up with him strength for strength now.
He's got the leg over, but he.
Oh. And that knee was very uncomfortable for a while there. To the north-south now, and I think Deslie's going to try to catch his breath a little bit, yeah.
He's doing a good job of like shutting Ching's hips down, shutting his shoulders down.
Good head control there from Deslie. He's really getting that cross face, and he's really tight on it.
Yeah, at the same time, he's got his shoulders and head pinned, but he's also got his hips pinned. Look.
Yeah. Good knee on belly there. And Brandon Newman taking some very deep breaths now. This matchup is very, very physical. Again, you've got two guys who've gone through reasonably fresh, and Deslie will face Reese, or Brandon Newman will face Reese. Whoever goes through here is going to face a very fresh Reese van der Merwe after a very physically intensive matchup, which is again interesting to note. And that's what's exciting about this 8-man matchup. That's the luck of the draw, You've got to go back and get yourself ready.
Another element of this that not everyone to be aware of is the altitude concept,
100%.
Newman, so it might not come into play so much in the first match, but the next match, okay, they're both from the coast, but
sure.
Let's just say,
up to altitude
as the matches go on, let's say Jordan makes it to the Dylan makes it to the final. He's used to the oxygen here.
100%.
The coastal boys, as it seems to be, as it goes on, it's going to get harder and harder to compete.
That's a great point, guy. It's definitely going to start to have a toll. I mean, we've seen guys like, I remember the Brazilians quite famously coming up for like training camps or whatever, and you can see them on the first few days, they're just completely gassed.
Yeah. So
it's hard to deal with.
It might even affect Deslie here. Brandon might be able to. See, he's coming up on top now, but opted to stay down.
Just see the difference between the two guys here. Brandon kind of just accepted that he was going to stay seated, and Deslie was initiated the scramble, made sure he got back on top, and that's where he wants to be.
That's where he wants to be.
Back to working for that mount position now. So good how he gets that crossface and that knee automatically across the hips.
Ooh,
and that's super uncomfortable.
That looks nasty.
It looks horrible. That is, and it's not just the shin going across. He's actually driving that knee into Brandon Newman's belly. Look, I don't think Brandon Newman's ever going to tap from too much pressure, but it's definitely going to start to become uncomfortable.
In that case, I actually remember someone trying to pressure him at a match in Joburg, and the guy broke his rib on Brandon Newman.
That's why they call it the Beast Ram, eh? That's absolutely what it's all about. But Deslie seems so comfortable in this position, but you got to start to think now. 2 minutes left. Are we going to go to EBI? You don't want those extra time rounds. You want to get out of here. You want to get it done. You got to think about another couple of fights you got to get through. So both guys thinking about getting through here. And Deslie's heavy on that head pressure, trying to force the mount position there. And now he's going to that breakdown position.
He's got that breakdown, which means he's probably going to look for Das.
And that is super uncomfortable. He's going to start to drive that left elbow over the top of his head there. Knee up on it now. Yeah, and that is super uncomfortable.
Oh, Newman on top, but he looks quite spent.
He does, and Deslie also kind of just accepted it there. It was like a reverse of what we saw now, where Deslie was hell-bent on getting that top position, and now Deslie, perhaps that altitude starting to kick in a little bit there.
again, I asked the question, like, how much effort do you put in now for this last minute? Do you just avoid getting submitted, or do you actually just go all out for the Hail Mary, hoping to get it?
Oh, I think Ching has hurt his knee here. I think on that pass,
Saps.
I think he hurt himself as he went in there.
We'll have to see a replay to see what happens.
Yeah, I think as he jumped that guard, I think he injured himself. He does have a bit of a knee problem he's been dealing with. So I think he kind of just unfortunately. And hats off to both these guys, man. Putting it all out there.
And you know what? Shout out to the crowd tonight. They really have a good understanding of what's going on, appreciating some of the more subtle things that are happening.
Great point. And Deslie looking very, very tired there. He's got a bit to deal with. Hopefully Brandon Newman's knee is fine there, man. As it looked as he tried to kind of jump into that guard pass, it looked like he had hurt himself. And that brings an end to the first round of the 8-man.